Right, well, I haven't done diary for quite some time, but here I have a short one. This is just an anecdote, something that happened to me today and highlighted an issue which is, close to my heart. So I went into a chemist today. I've just been to the doctor because I have some issue with the chest, cold. So I said to the doctor I'd like to get a vaccination for flu and for COVID. Yeah, so he said, yeah, just go next door to the chemist and yeah, they'll organize that for you. So, yeah, so I went into the chemist, right? And the first lady I met two people who dealt with two young women. And the first one was very helpful and she was very kind. And she said something about, well, actually, we can't just do it today. We haven't got the vaccines yet, but you can book it all up online. Well, I thought, oh, yes. We go home, we try to book it online, and we find that there's some problem, technical problem, and that can't be solved, so it never happens. That happens to me quite a lot. Some problem with the website or something. So I thought, why can't they just book it here at the chemist? I thought to myself, yeah. So anyway, I mentioned that, yeah, I had problems with the websites before and they wouldn't accept applications. I said, I prefer to do it here and now. Is that possible? Oh, well. So then she referred me, to her colleague who was totally unhelpful. Could not have been any different. Chalk and cheese. So, first one was a very kind lady, but the second lady was, just like a robot. So she was uh, just parroting out her corporate script from her corporate training, saying things like, well, you've got to go home and do it. And I was saying, well, yeah, I don't have the skills to do that. The website, can I do it here? And she was saying, no, you get a family member to help you. And I said, I don't have any family here. And she just ignored that. And so her whole strategy was to raise her voice when I didn't understand something. And this is very common amongst Australian locals when they're dealing with someone either who's a foreigner or who's elderly, or in my case, both. What they do is they just repeat the same thing, but they raise their voice and shout at you, treat you like you're a complete idiot. So she was shouting away, saying, yeah, you have to go back. And I was saying I couldn't do that. And they were saying, oh, well, in that case, you just have to wait and call on the day. And if there's nothing available, then that's hard luck, tough luck. So this is the corporate way of life, the corporate idea of service, the bully. No intention at all of helping me, the customer, book the vaccination. Go home and do it online. Well, so I just found the whole process so dispiriting. And of course, I realized I was on a loser. I couldn't do anything. She just kept raising her voice when she saw that I didn't understand. She somehow thought that raising her voice would make me understand. And anyway, I just said, oh, okay. And I walked off. And yeah, I suppose I must have looked a bit sad or something. Because the next thing that happened was that the original lady who referred me to her came over to me and she said, actually, I could help you do the online booking here on your phone. Do you have a mobile phone? I said, yes, I do. And so we started to do it on the mobile phone. Well, the whole thing took about, I suppose, 15 minutes because not just your name, but your Medicare card number and your address and your phone number, and all this had to be done. And then, of course, the first time it wasn't accepted for some reason, and then we had to go back and do it again. So the whole thing took about 15 minutes. And this was with her, and she was an expert tech savvy person. Now, of course, if I'd had to do that, I would have gone home and spent the whole afternoon working myself up into a frenzy of frustration, taking hours over booking the bloody vaccination. And all I need to do, surely, when I'm actually at the site where the vaccination occurs, the chemist, they can't do that. No, you have to go home and do it. It's just a classic example of how the corporate world totally abuses the concept of service. They design all their processes in order to suit themselves, make it more efficient so that they make more money. And they get a queue going. They don't care how much inconvenience they cause the patient at all. So, anyway, in the end, it had a happy ending because this other lovely person was able to do it for me. And, it just could not be a clearer example of how the corporate world is so selfish in the way that it treats its customers. Absolutely appalling.